we go to some of the animal shelters when they have dogs that are going to get euthanized for space, and they're about an hour away from euthanization. We play a game here that I like to call Steven Get in the Car. And so Steven shows up for work, and I'm like, get in the car. And I was like, we're going to get a dog, and we put him in, and we have no idea what's going on. And then I sleep here for a week and a half, and then we end up rescuing the dog, and he gets a great home, but sometimes the dog pee up here, and then Murphy gets confused. So my dog's not that bad. That being said, we'll talk a little bit, just real quick, we'll go over what we do here. Steven likes to say that we have ADD of the heart. It's my favorite thing that he says, which is saying a lot because he says a lot of amazing things. But our biggest thing is, if you're in need, we're going to find a way to help you. One of the most unique things about our group is that we are not federally, city, county funded. We don't have that bureaucratic red tape. We have the ability to see a need, and we create the solution. And that's my favorite part, and something that sets us apart in any aspect. We have 3 major programs: homeless outreach, animal welfare, and food assistance, which is what you all helped so much. I know it doesn't seem to you like that's a lot, but what you did will feed dozens of families, and that makes a huge difference to us. And I love that he's also coming to you because you're wearing the same clothes, just so you know.
Twins.
Yeah, but those are our 3 major programs. We've kind of launched into education and development, and that's something that Steven and I have been really kind of passionate about. When y'all leave, if you look on the bookshelf on your way out, you'll see that we have purchased a number of culturally and ethnically relevant books. And we're going to our elementary schools, and we're finding these elementary schools that are 99% economically disadvantaged, 97% minority enrollment. And these kids only have books that are Caucasian books about people that aren't like them succeeding. And it's so often overlooked, and no one's addressing it. And so that's something that we kind of jumped outside of our boundaries of what something like you might, if you go to our website or you hear about us, you're going to see this picture. But we're so much more than that. We're outside that border 24/7. I mean, Steven is on his way to Kmart, or Walmart, or whatever the hell it is anymore. There is one. Actually, I went to one the other day. I didn't know what was happening. It was just for nostalgia. But he went and bought steel-toed boots for a man that we found sleeping on our loading dock out back that was a veteran. And he's homeless, and he just set himself up down there. And so I see Steven walking out the door, and he's going to get him boots so that he can get employment. And so it's small things like that we have the ability to do, and that's why we love this group and what all of your mindsets and the way that you all think and the way that you support your community. You get us. And Steven is, and I tell this story all the time, and this is the last thing I'll say, and he's so sick of it. My full-time job is a DJ on weekends. I've been doing that 20 years. COVID hit, I had no job. I started going out, we did a food assistance program, and what we were doing is when the school shut down for COVID, we provided hot meals for free for kids in all the high-risk areas. So we ended up paying for and making it happen. It was 55,000 free meals when COVID hit for kids, and it was all school-age kids. And so we would have extras, and I would go in the homeless camps and bring those out there. And a friend of mine saw me, and she was like, homeless people aren't hungry. You need to see what the need is. Like dial in, talk to them, figure it out. So there was a group I saw that was going out there at night, and I joined the group. I just went out doing recon, Murph. And I got there, and I didn't have him then. Come here. And so when I got there, there's a guy, and I followed this guy around. And I would watch him with these people in the camps when it was tent city. And I would be following him, and I would have pillows and sleeping bags and all the high-end items in tents. And they were more moved, and they were more touched, and they were more changed by speaking to this person. And so the whole time I'm I want to be him. I want to be that guy. And I want to make a program for this group. I want to make a program for our organization that is based on what that interaction and really seeing what people need, which is sometimes more than just a materialistic item. And so I went back and I followed this group around, and that guy wasn't there, and I came home and I said to my partner, I was like, if the guy with the glasses isn't there, I'm not going back. And I went back a third time, the guy with the glasses is there. And the guy with the glasses is now my associate director. And so this man is the purest human being in the world. And I learn more just watching him in a day. And that's what our group is about. It's about paying attention. It's about seeing what people need as human beings. You know, it's one thing to bring people water. It's one thing to bring them food. It's another thing to make them feel seen and loved and understood. And that's what I learned from Steven. And so I'm going to let you talk now that I just pumped you up. You better be really prophetic right now.
Yeah. Thank you, Bethany. I'll pay you $20.
That's what I do. Yep, that's fine.
So yeah. So anyway, I appreciate you guys coming out, and I've enjoyed all the songs and the stories so far. And so one of the things we really do strive here is everything we do, we want to put an educational aspect to it. So even if you come for the food pantry, we're always at the car talking to find out what's happened in your lives. And we even sign kids up for the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. We have DSS come out and sign up for food stamps. Everything we do is try to help them, give them things to help them better themselves.
To help them not have to come back to the food pantry. Why are you coming?
Yeah. And so even with the dog outreach, we kind of teach them, how to properly do the dogs. Like if there's several dogs, give them each their own food section, just kind of stuff like that. Everything's educational. And last year, I was invited to speak as part of HUG for a mental health conference. And at first, I told my friend, I was like, I thought she was under the impression that we did like mental health, like physical mental health still here. And I was like, I don't think we're qualified to that. She said, of course you are. She said, you just think about what you do. And when she said that, I went home that night, and I thought, she's exactly right. Because all of us that struggle with anxiety or anything mental health, it has been, proven that when we give back to others, that's also helped part of our recovery. Mm-hmm. And before I go on, there is a balance to it, because those that can get into addictive behaviors, we can also get addictive in helping people, and that's another issue. We got to have the balance in that. But if you can take care of yourself first, get yourself back on track. Once you're in that space, and this is not a plug to come volunteer for us, which you're always welcome for that. Because I tell everybody, even if someone comes here, I ask them, I say, what do you want to do? What makes you come alive? What do you think about? Because, just doing what we do may not be what brings you joy. And so I tell everybody to kind of be mindful of the things you pay attention to. Like if you really are drawn to the elderly, then maybe once a month, call up a local rest home and ask them, hey, what patient doesn't get any visitors? Let me know who's not getting any visitors, and I'll go once a month to meet that person. Or we even went to the
Hospitality House. We volunteer there. We try to do once a month.
It's kind of like a Ronald McDonald type house. So there's a number of things anywhere across the board. It doesn't have to be homelessness. I tell the story all the time about my sister. My sister's always had a fear of homeless people, even when we were kids. They've always scared her, and she's a year younger than me. But she's got gifted. She'll go sit. There was this house that people that was in the last stages of cancer, and she wanted me to go sit with the people, and that freaked me out, because that part of the death just scares me. I'm better at it now because I've learned more about death. But you just kind of know where your flow is and where you're gifted at. And so I'm going to encourage everybody to go home. If you're not already doing it, don't make it another thing for you to have to do. Make it something you want to do that makes you come alive, and kind of realize that you're important, you're needed here, and that we see you and we hear you, and we want you guys here for a long time. And we do appreciate all the stuff you brought. Yeah. And again, afterwards, Beth and I'll be around if you want to ask us any questions about everything. Yeah. We kind of get, when someone asks me what we do, I get that deer in the headlight look.
He does. We panic because there's so many things. We're like, what do we do? How much time do we have? How fast can we talk?
And we have a board member here, she'll attest. They ask us to kind of narrow it down, because when we start talking to people, they're all like, because there's a lot.
What do you do?
So we kind of narrow it down and put things under the thing. And so anyway, actually we've got some young kids I want you guys to meet afterwards too. They've joined under our wings too about
I love them. We love them.
Meditation and just their own form of holistic mental health stuff too. So appreciate you guys, love you guys, and thank you guys for everything for this stuff. And
ask us any questions. Like we said, we have a homeless outreach program. We go out into the camps and we provide everything from tents and tarps and reading glasses and batteries. And then we have a pantry every Wednesday, which Steven and Carolyn, who's in the second row, thank God for them. They run because it's nuts. And we're putting out 250 bags of groceries every Wednesday night. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're thinking, how many cans of 250 cans of corn, 250 cans of beans, 250 cans, there's thousands of items going out every single Wednesday night. And we're not federally funded. We don't get grants. We don't get these things. because we kind of play by our own rules in a good way. And I just refuse to pander to that. And so I think it's just having people like you see us and hear us and feel our mission that makes all the difference. And that's why we do what we do. And y'all are just amazing. As soon as you all came in, we were just like, yeah, this is right.
Good stuff.
This is right. Yeah. So.
All right. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah.